Here's a 200-watt soldering iron that I've bought for soldering wires to my garden rail track. It's, well, you can see there's even Chinese writing on it. I saw something from 2008. You'll recognize these from eBay. And the thing is, they come with that sort of plug on it, which I presume is a Chinese plug. So that's no good. I think I might even have an adapter for it, but I thought I'm going to want to change the plug at some point. Let's change the plug. So I didn't use the adapter. Continental adapter plug. But then when I stripped the wires back, let's get into consistent even light, you will see that they are very fine indeed, much finer than the wires on any other relatively low powered device that I've got. So I'm a bit wary of those wires. Anyway, there we go. They're very fine wires. The thinner the wire, the higher the resistance between the plug and the iron. I've looked and I've got a couple of, I call them kettle leads. They're old mains leads used for computer, PCs, monitors, etc. With a plug already on one end. And so I could chop the other end off. I'm not sure if I do have much 3-core cable, but you know, it saves fitting a plug on one end, and that would mean rewiring it into there. But before I do that, I thought, well, let's just tin it and try it before I go to the trouble of opening it up in the actual line itself. So then the next thing is, let's see if the light adjusts because of the sunshine, to make a soldering iron stand for it, because this is going to be a 200-watt hot iron. Very simple thing, a wooden base long enough that the wood perimeter is greater than any of the hot parts of the iron. The only thing overhanging the edge of the wood is this. That's just a little bit of thinnish ply at that end, cut to hold the handle. That's one of the old fashioned, when I say old fashioned, wire coat hangers, but an old stiff wire coat hanger, and a little flat mending plate strip there, and it will sit in it like that. Or even if I wanted to, there's a screw that holds the bit in. It'll sit resting where the screw catches on the metal like that, and it still has most of the hot end of it protected by the perimeter of the wood. So there we go, a soldering iron stand. And then just so that I can test it quickly, I've got my key necto block. So I can plug the wires into there. Let's move out the sun there. And plug it into the mains just to check that it's all working before I attach not just a plug on it. I'm not going to risk those wires under the screw of a normal 3-pin plug, because I'm fairly confident that the screw would just chew through the wire and chew it off. I mean, there's all sorts of things you could do, but you know, is it worth it? Let's have a look. Well, certainly the element is getting hot, because there's a good amount of smoke coming out from it. It could just be burning off. I don't know what it could be burning off. So I've got some flux down there, but the bit is not really warm enough to melt the flux yet. So the element is getting hot, but no sign of it warming the bit yet. Mind you, there's a lot of copper in that bit. The flux that I've put onto the end of there is still solid. Am I going to be tempted to lick my finger and touch the end? Let's have a look. Okay, it's getting warm. Sorry, I couldn't hold the camera and show that. It's getting warm, but not warm enough to melt the flux yet. And therefore, certainly it's not going to be warm enough to tin with the solder yet. I should be doing this outside. In fact, there's so much smoke coming off there, I am going to go outside. Okay, it's been on for about a minute now. It's, look at the reflection there. Just coming up with the second hand coming up to there, to about 7 minutes to 4 on this clock. Okay, there we go. So it's been on for about a minute. I have a little contactless thermometer, but I'm sure it's not taking the correct reading. This thing's a little meat thermometer, and it's just got off the ground. Something like 20 degrees. Right, it's just about, not as much smoke as before, not sizzling into the flux yet though. Okay, well that's, I can pause this rather than you wait. That's another minute gone. The second hand's just coming up again. It's just hot enough to melt solder. That's about 4-5 minutes to warm up. I'm going to tin it now, so I'm turning this off. Right. So, conclusion for now is it does the job. End of the bit successfully tinned. It was able to heat up the rail on an unconnected bit of track. Obviously, when this is connected to other track, there'll be a bit more of a heatsink action, but it's managed to heat it so that it makes the solder flow. So I'm more confident of soldering wires to my brass track. Everything's a little bit loose. The bit is quite loose in the end here. That can't be good for thermal conductivity. I'm not sure how the element is around the end of that. I can see some bluing here, so presumably, I don't know, no idea what's going on in there. And the handle is loose onto the metal bit. I am, now that I've checked it works, and therefore doesn't need to be taken straight back, going to put a decent lead onto it. I might just have one last little look at the ends of the wire, and maybe while the solder's hot I might even try tinning them, see if that allows me to put a plug on. The wire's cold. It's not as if the wire's getting hot. If there was very high resistance in the wire, it would be getting warm.